Hello? Hello, how's this sound? Because I kind of readjusted the microphone and I'm sitting really close to it so that you can't maybe hear the hum of the really loud computer. So I've lowered the gain by a butt ton and now I'm very close to it. And I will be close to it. We might have to figure out a nice spot to be in. Sounds great. Some people are saying a little quiet. I'm gonna scream into it. I'm just gonna sit real nice and close. Do you hear this? Oh, I gotta feed him. Did you hear that? Also, I have Burger King literally about to come to my door because I'm starving. So, hello. Look at what I did. You know what's really sad? There's a bunch of foam up there. I have to take it down and put it lower because you can't see it. But, I got him. Look at that light bulb. That came from IKEA. It's so cool. I feel like it really just helped the lighting in this room and like just the vibe be a little bit better. But then I have foams way up there. And I didn't know you wouldn't be able to see them. So I have to peel them off and re-stick them lower. My hair is fading into a really pretty orange. It's still way more vibrant on camera than it actually is in person. I promise that. It looks a lot more orange because of the way the coloring on this camera is, but I'm really loving it. I'm really loving how it's kind of transforming. It's so nice. You can see it's kind of really fading up here. That just looks like a shine in my hair, but it is actually really fading at the top of my head a lot more than the bottom. My rider's nearly with me. I'm getting Burger King. We're gonna eat some Burger King nuggets. And we're gonna read some Am I the Assholes, and I think I'm gonna play a little bit of Origins later. It's giving sunset. Truly it is, but I wish it was fading the other way where it's darker here and lighter down here. You know what's really weird? This is the way my hair color looks right now, and you can't tell. It's very, very faded here, and like in this zone and at the very ends of my bangs, and it's very, very faded just at the tips of my hair, like about here. Can you see that? No. Don't know how. It looks so orange. I'm really getting used to it though. I really, really like it, I think. I definitely really, really like it. Also, look at it against blue. I feel like this just looks really nice. It is lighter than last stream, definitely, but the camera coloring is not translating the actual color of my hair super accurately, so. Dunno. Flame Princess from Adventure Time. Dude. All the different orange hair people that people are comparing me to, all of them are the best compliment I've ever heard in my entire life. Fire Princess, Flame Princess, Starfire, the sun from the Gabriel Piccolo comics. That's it. I can't remember the others. Biggest water in the world. I'm so sad about the foams, but I'm really happy about. It feels a little bit more like a vibe, right? Like I feel like I was missing a vibe. It wasn't a bad vibe before, but it felt like it was devoid of a vibe. And now I feel like I've gotten a good vibe going. I just really need you to see. Let me do something real quick here. You just be there for a second. Okay, I'm gonna try and peel these off now. Oh, they're on there. Uh-oh. Can they be restuck is the question. Or do I need to order a new set? Oh, you heard that? All right, I'm gonna put him down here. I don't need them to be stuck on well. They're also now a little bit broken. I'm also listening very intently for the door for my Burger King. Can you even hear me? Yeah, you definitely can. I'm too loud to not be heard. Okay, this is good. This'll be good. I'm gonna put him way down. I just kind of splattered them on the wall. Ow. I kind of half expected to take them down and replace them because I didn't know if I really even specifically liked where they were. Ooh, I'm gonna get my food real quick. Who wants Burger King? I did not get enough for everybody. I did not order enough nuggets and did not get enough chili cheese bites. Let's see how this looks. Oh, that's much better. Oh, but the gray ones. Should I lower them too? I feel like I need them just like in this like little zone here. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna move them real quick. I just don't want you to see my butt. I do want to show you the tights I'm wearing though, but not in this fashion. I'm just gonna lower this one. Ugh. I just thought the colors were nice. Okay, I'm gonna put him. Ooh, this is a weird zone that it's in. I'm gonna put it like here. I'll probably move him around here and there until I feel happy about it. All right, let's eat some Burger King. Let's eat some Burger King. Is that better? They don't make sense. I'll play around with it. I might move these yellow ones like over here more, and then I just wanted something on the walls. You know what I mean? I just didn't like the bare walls, and they're like these little baby foams. They're little itty bitty. Yeah, something's wrong with it. I need to like readjust. I don't really know how to place them because there's 3 sets of hex. There's actually 4. I have blue ones too, but I felt like I didn't want to include them. All of these colors together, I just really vibed with though. I just decided not to put the blue. Oh, look at these tights. Wait. I thought they were so pretty. They're lace. You can see my knees. My lace knees. I really, really like them. What I was wearing was like a long button shirt with a sweater. I changed though because I felt like this color looked better on camera. But just imagine, really nice white lace tights, and then I was wearing a long white button up that was long enough to be a dress, but I did have little shorts on. I do have little shorts on. And then I had like my tan jumper on. I'm showing some knee, man. Wait, I need to do it on this side so you can... I really, really like them. I thought I would hate white tights, but the little like lace pattern, I kind of am in love with. This feels so much better. I just need the camera. I feel, and honestly, even the camera feels like it's improved because I adjusted some things about it. And I feel like just adding some more lights have helped everything kind of just like vibe better. You know what I mean? I just need to figure out these little hexagons. They're just kind of there. Does this not feel better for everyone else too? Is it just me? I feel like it feels better. I need to like, that's better. Yeah, I agree. The setup is so cute. It just feels so much, I felt like it was missing something that my home setup had. Like just a little bit more things. I love things. Who doesn't love things? I'm a very things kind of person. And it, oh, he is angry today. Who did this? People come in here and flip him. Which looks better though? Actually, I kind of like the color. I like the color of angry him. I kind of like that color better. Oops, he has to stay mad because I prefer the color of angry him. Oh, can I? Your setup is a whole vibe. This was missing a vibe. It was just kind of plain and blank before. And I'm a big vibes person, and I was like, I don't have my vibe in this room yet. Getting that light bulb was like a game changer for me. That comes from IKEA. It's a plasma light bulb. It's like rainbow colors underneath. It's hard to see. But there's like pinks, yellows, purples in it. It's so nice. That guy I ordered off Amazon. What I have that I haven't actually even played with right now yet. Is this working? The remote's not working. I have a sunset lamp like I do at home in front of me pointing at the wall. And I have it set to orange, and it bounces a little orange beam on the wall in front of me, and then it kind of bounces a little warm glow back at me. I think that's also been a game changer right now, where it just feels a little bit more like my vibe, right? It just feels... I needed some more of that warm light and just a little bit of glowiness to it or something. I don't know. Icy Bloom, thank you so much for 10 gifted subs. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Holy gifted subs. Do you want a nugget? Because I do not have enough for everyone. But you can have one. You may have a nugget. I'm just like real getting happy about the situation here. Look at this. Look at this all. I also bought a little mini plant. I put him in a mug because it was too little to fit in any of the vases that IKEA sells, but they sell mini plants anyway that don't have anywhere to go. Also, this candle. Oh, that kind of hit me too hard. It smells like a wood burning fire. You know how this is a very specific example, and I think more than the example I'm going to give experiences this smell. But are you from like somewhere that gets cold in the winter, like either East Coast, America, England gets this, winter hits, right? And you go outside and you get that brisk cold breeze hits you, and it like kind of gives you that bite, but then you smell, there's a smell of like everyone in the neighborhood has like their wood burning, or there's a wood burning smell outside, but then you also feel cold. It's a combo. This makes me feel that. It smells like the wood burning, and it's my favorite thing to like step out in that like biting chilly weather and then get that waft of burning wood from somewhere. I got that at IKEA too. You want to know what else I got at IKEA? Then I'm going to eat my Burger King and we're going to read things. He's not in his position to be seen, sadly, but I think his name's Mr. Whiff, is what he was people give me names for the things that I buy. I never pick them. Other people do. I think he was dubbed Mr. Whiff. I don't know why. I think it was Rue's idea was to name him Mr. Whiff. Oh. Look at his hand. I didn't even know he had little paw print hands. Amesy got a whale, and I got the bear. Actually, me and Gucky both got the bear. We both got the bear. So we have matching bears, and Amesy has a whale. I love him. He just kind of sits over there. I just thought he'd be cute in here. Didn't occur to me that he cannot be seen in the little corner over there, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. I have to eat. I will die otherwise. They're trying to keep me away from my food with the way they take these bags up. I'm vibing out. I don't know about you guys. I'm so happy. I'm vibing out. I'm over the moon about this. It was just kind of weighing on me every time I came here. I was like, there's just something. Just a little something's missing. And it was a feeling. And only I knew how to solve that problem. To find the thing I needed to fix the feeling I was missing whenever I would stream from here. And I think I did it. I love this little planet, dude. It took me forever to find a lighting that didn't make it just look like a one white glowing orb. Because that's what it looked like for the most part. We got vibes now. Look at Yassified Cheeto. I'm a hot Cheeto. Thank you very much. You know what's really sad that I think I've done by accident? Anybody, this is going to be a very specific experience I'm going to ask if anybody has ever had. People with colored hair. And also extensions. Specifically the people that I've had both at the same time. I have a problem. It didn't occur to me to mention this to my stylist at the time because I didn't want to admit to him what I was about to do. I've been washing my hair with warm-ish to hot water. This was on purpose. I knew I was going to lose the color immediately and it was going to start fading right away. It still hasn't faded like drastically too much. It's been a slow process, but I've been using warmer to hot water purposely to fade my color a little bit faster. What has happened is that I think because the color is coming out, every time I shower, it's orange. It's an orange, just bloodbath in the bathtub. I think with the color bleeding, and also because my hair is so smooth from getting a hair dye, because hair dye is filling your hair. It's filling your hair pores. It makes your hair a lot softer and smoother. Here's the problem. The extensions part. They're falling out. They're falling out. I've lost 4. They're just slipping straight out my head. And I think it's because I was supposed to be using cold water to wash this hair because it's colored. So I think the color releasing from my hair is like also slipping all of everything else off. 4 of them are gone. 3 of them actually happened the first day I showered. I didn't say anything. And then today a 4th one came out because I thought it was just like I don't know. I've had an extension come out here and there. One of them one time was placed just too low on my head, and I accidentally got him real good with conditioner, and he slipped straight out my head. How many did you have? I don't even know. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can't tell which ones I double count. 8 or 9 are in my head right now. It's still a lot. Although that's really like 4 on each side now. It used to be 6 on each side. So I've lost 2 on each side, which makes it sound a lot better than losing 4 extensions. It was just 2 on each side. You can't even tell because I still have the length ones here. Don't know why they're falling out. I thought it was just like a first, like the day after I got my hair extensions put in, I've had one fall out. Hot water especially makes the glue dissolve. I had this issue when I had tape and extensions. You see, that has never been told to me until I got my hair colored. And it wasn't really a big issue before for me to have hot showers with extensions. And I never had that warning before until my hair was colored. And I was specifically told, use cold water to wash your hair. I thought that was only an issue for the color. I didn't know it was going to be an issue for the extensions. They're coming out. Why are you washing your hair with hot water? Because I take hot showers and I refuse. I wanted my hair to fade. It was an intentional wish to fade my hair. And also cold water sounds horrible and I didn't want to do that. I might actually start taking cold showers because I kind of want to stay in this zone for a while. I kind of like the zone I'm in right now with my hair color. So I might start just doing at the end of my shower the cold water on my hair. Because I just really, and also I'm going to use a lot of dry shampoo to just avoid needing to wash my hair in the first place anyway. But I was doing hot water on purpose. I wanted it to fade. I was doing it with the intention of it to fade faster. I didn't expect the extensions to fall out, but I think that the releasing of the color is also releasing the glue. I don't know. I think it's making them extra slippery because this hasn't ever happened before, except for one. I had one fall out in the shower a previous time. And if I had my extensions, I've done them now for months. So this has never happened until now. So I think the color has an extra effect at making my hair extensions slip off by accident. And I've lost 4 of them. And that's just kind of sad. Because I will get them put back in. The one that I had, I lost one of them a previous time I had extensions. I just kind of I just threw it out. I didn't even care. Because it was just one. But now that I've lost 4 of them, I'm going to have them put them back the next time. And I guess I'll have to wash my hair with cold water. I think when I get my extensions put back in, I won't be getting a color refresh. Because I won't need one yet. I'll keep it this shade. Usually make the cold water cold at the end of my shower to get me out quicker. Yeah, I think I'm going to use it at the end. They're reusable? Yeah. The way that my extensions, my tape-in ones work right now, or like glue, whatever you call it. They're tape-in, but it's like a glue. I go, let's say I have no extensions. I go in, I get my extensions put in. 1 month later, they grow out about an inch. I have to go back in. He takes them out and he puts them back up. So he kind of moves them back up. You can do that about 3, even 4 times before you have to just get a whole new set. Because every time they put them back in, they kind of have to re-blend them into the hair. They can't always put them exactly where they were before, so you kind of have to get a re-trim, and then you kind of lose the hair over time. So you can reuse them a few times. Also, if you buy your own tape-in, you can reuse them a billion times, so you just have to keep putting them in the right place. But yeah, he never told me to use cold water until I had colored hair, so... I mean, it never happened until I had colored hair. What do extensions do? You can get them for 2 different reasons, in my opinion. Or like the 2 that I considered. One, I got it to add length to my hair, right? My natural hair is right here. It's actually grown... Ooh, not you. This is my natural hair right here. So, get rid of him. My hair's grown out a lot, so they're only a couple inches longer. The first set of extensions I got were down here because I wanted really long hair. Or what I'm going to start doing as my hair is growing out itself, I'm going to start using extensions just to make my hair fuller a little bit. I think I'll only have 3 on each side or so just to add volume to my hair. Because I do really like having the amount of hair that I have. And I think the next time I do them, I might actually still go long because I kind of miss how long they were before. I didn't mean for them to be this short that time. That was an accident. The blue soda with the orange. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. This color combo, amazing. What's my natural hair color? Dark, dark, dark. My eyebrows. Dark, 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 dark brown. I'm really a fan of this hair color. And I have like a little bit of a shadow root. I'm even more of a fan of the color he used for that. Because I think it's such a perfect, deeper... It's a copper brown. But the way it sits next to the orange, it makes it look like just a little bit of a burnt orange. Like just a few shades darker than the orange. But it's a brown. I'm kind of... I don't know what happened here. It looks a little bit more blended here. That's because of the way it's faded. This orange used to be a lot more dark and orange. And vibrant. I'm happy. Got my stream room vibes. Got my hair vibes. I got new tights. I'm such a big fan. I'm such a sucker for these. I'm gonna wear them every day. They're also like surprisingly warm outside. What am I eating? Burger King here has chili bites. I also got some nuggets. No, I didn't. Oh, these. Oops. All right. How's like the sound and everything? Does the music and me sound good right now? Do I sound like echoey? Do you think anybody who might have a little bit more to say than just sounds good? Is there like any minor adjustment you think I could make, or is everyone like pretty actually happy right now? I feel like I got in a good spot. But if anyone specifically has like a really nitpicky, like you could really tweak this, I'll take it. I will take it. But it sounds like your voice is pretty clear. I think sitting really close to this and having the gain super low so you can't hear the computer going. I think that's the move. I heard reports of flooding in California. Star, okay. Perfectly okay. I have my house sitter. And there hasn't really been flooding where I am in California, in LA. Has it still been raining? Or is it like finally wrapping up? Or no? It was like 3 weeks of rain straight. No, actually there is no rain anymore. I think the day that I left California, there was only a couple more days of rain that were about to happen. We're back in a sunny period, so we're good. Also, I'm a second-story apartment, so none of that flooding was ever going to touch me anyway. Rain last night in the valley. Oh, oop. Oop. Yeah, no, she's okay. My house sitter's on top of it. 3 weeks? That's a lot of water. LA is not built for 3 weeks straight of rain, and that was genuinely how long it was. It was kind of fun at first, and then I was over it. I was so sad. Cloudy doesn't make me sad, but rain makes me sad. I like it when it's like a nice little treat here and there in LA, like a downpour with a thunderstorm is really nice. But then after the first week, and then we were getting into the second week, and then the third, I was like, okay, that's enough. This is not why I live here. Oh yeah, and then I go to England. Star's back in America with my house sitter. Very happy. I check on her every single day, and I go on my Ring cam, specifically at like 10 or 11 in the morning here. And she's always waiting in the spot where my camera can see her cat tree at the same time every day, so I can say hello to her. And she's so happy. I watch her. I go and I check all the motion throughout the day to see what she's been up to. It's just the same stuff she's up to when I'm there. She's pacing around the house. She has her toys. And then I can see when the cat sitter comes in. Star is a gem. I love her so much. We're gonna get ring cam cursed pics of her again. I have a few I could go get. There were a few because she gets real close to it and she sniffs it. And if I forget one day to do it, or like I sleep in and I miss her, and I just don't do it one day because some days I just don't get to do it. I check and she just sits there. And it breaks my heart. So I have to do it every day. I have to. But she gets like real close to it and waits. It's illegal now for me to miss doing it. Can't do that. Hey, listen. I left America where it was raining to go to England, but guess what happened when I got here? Sun. Day 2 when I got here it rained. That was like 100% chance of rain, the weather app said. And then it said the next 4 days were like around 50% chance each day. Didn't happen, not one of them. I am the sun. I brought the sun because I am the sun. The day I arrived here was the nicest day that they had in forever. I'm the sun. I did miss the snow. There is no snow here. There's still time, though. God, I hope it snows while I'm here. I would love that. Now I just have to bring the sun back to California. Although I think they're good now. I'm the sun. I've gotten to a point now that I love my hair so much. I know I was a very emotional roller coaster at the beginning. It was a big shock. It was really vibrant. I'm just falling in love with it every day, and every time I wash it. I love it so much now that I'm preparing to be a little orange girl for a while. Might try different shades out here and there. Might try at home dyeing. Gonna keep up my roots to be orange. And I just commissioned a new profile picture so that it matches me being orange. And I'm like really excited to be a little orange lady for a while. I kind of knew I'd fall in love with it. I wasn't prepared to not like it initially. It was like every time it's like when you get a haircut, every single time, no matter how good the haircut is, I like have a little crisis immediately after. And then I'm like, okay, sorry, I was a little over dramatic about it. Anybody else? Also, why do you look like that in the salon chair? Why do you look like that in the salon hair cutting cape? Why does it do that to you? What's with the salon mirror? Why is it like that? You know what I mean? If you know, you know. Why does it do that to you? Why does it make you look like that? You get that little cape up to here and you're in the salon mirror. Does no one else feel a certain way about the way they look in the salon mirror with a stupid cape and just like your hair's wet and you look like a little... Why do you look like that in the mirror? You look different. You look weird. I feel like I look the most ugly. It's the most unflattering. The salon mirror is always the most unflattering place to view yourself in, especially when you have the little cape and your hair's wet and you're just... The lighting it's always the worst. There's something wrong with those mirrors. Why do you look like that? And you either know or you don't know. I think it's especially relevant when you have long hair. Maybe when you have really short hair, it doesn't affect the way you look in the mirror as much. But I feel like as soon as I get in that chair and I look at myself, I'm like, oh. As soon as I put the cape on, I'm like, oh, who is she? How you look in the salon mirror is not how you actually look. I've had to tell myself that. I'm like, just... And I always want to take a little picture of me in the chair, and then I do, and I'm like, is that what I look like? Ew. Ooh. But all my friends are very shocked by my hair. Every time I walk in a room of someone who hasn't seen it yet, they're like, oh my God, your hair! It is a big drastic change. And it's so orange. It's so orange. Look at, I match this. It is fading a lot back here in this spot specifically. It looks like it's just the shine of my hair. This is just a very faded patch of hair. I love it. It's also, I guess you don't really see it all that much. I feel like, especially among my friends, I have a lot of people that have had, like, they dye their hair. I have a lot of friends that have pink hair. Megan and Lizzie have pink hair. I know people that have purple hair, blue-green. I don't think I've ever known or had a friend, unless they were a natural ginger. I do have natural ginger-haired friends, but like a vibrant orange like this? Oh, man. I was so excited to do it, but also I didn't know anyone who had done it, and it feels like the coolest color I've ever considered. I'm a fan. If you're ever thinking of doing it, do it. Just do it. Also, when I go home, I'm going to get like a natural gingery orange to put on top and like see how that goes. It's faded a little bit more. Scott has red hair. He goes for like a coppery red. But like, is there an open market for a YouTuber / streamer to have like neon orange hair? Like the kind of orange that punches you in the face when you see it? I feel like there's a gap in the market that I will fill. Yeah, mine's just like not natural orange. Jem has orange hair, but mine's an unnatural level of orange. Tay also had like an orange kind of hair. It was also a little bit more on like, it was like a different tone, but she doesn't have orange hair anymore. So there was someone who had it. She dyed her hair. I filled the gap. All right, let's do some reading. One more chili cheese bite and we'll get into it. Jem and Tay are different people. There's Gemini Tay, and there's Tater Tot. I don't know if the person who mentioned Tay meant this Tay that I'm talking about. But that's what I initially thought is what you meant was Jem and Tay. I lied, I have one more. Because Tay did have orange hair. I'm in highlighter era. I'm in Hayley Williams era. I think where my orange is right now is my favorite so far. Although it does keep becoming more my favorite every time I wash it. But I'm going to start doing cold water because I think I do want to stay in this zone for a while. I love my big bottle of waters. I always get the 2 liter. All right, Tamagotchi's good. I have eaten, which is what I was missing all day. Let's read some Am I the Assholes, and then maybe we can get a little bit into Minecraft in a little while. Okay. This one Reddit decided was the asshole, and I'm curious about why. Am I the asshole for wanting a child-free wedding? I don't feel like that in and of itself is a problem. But I don't know if there's anything more to it. There usually is. And Reddit said that they are the assholes. So let's see. I, 22 female, am getting married soon. Since my fiance and I are child-free, and because we plan to have alcohol at our wedding, we decided to have... I'm hiccuping because I just ate so much food. I got overtoned to maintain my orange too. It's just like a little bit of a different orange than this. I might buy several different oranges to try out once it fades enough. Anyway, this requirement so far has gone over well with most of our invitees. Most of our invitees don't have any kids anyway, so it doesn't make a difference for them. I do have one friend, Mel, 20 female. Oh, I see why. That I had to exclude from the wedding. After realizing that pretty much everyone else from the same social circle had been invited except her, she confronted me and demanded to know why she wasn't invited. That's not a child, though. That's a 20-year-old. You can have a child-free wedding, but that's not a child. She's 20, if that's really the issue here. Mel kept accusing me of being a bad friend. She argued that since we had drank together before, it shouldn't be such a big deal, but I told her that it was different because we were both underage at the time. I was 20 and she was 18, 19 when we started drinking together. Now as an adult, I feel like I have a responsibility to prevent underage drinking. And as the bride, I feel like I have the right to have a child-free wedding. That's not a child, and she doesn't have to drink. Is it illegal to drink at 20 in any countries? Yeah. Name just one. I think there's a couple others, but yeah, America, you can't. That's definitely an American right there. But she doesn't have to drink at your wedding. And she's not a child if she's 20. She's just not child age. Just because they're underage for drinking doesn't mean that they're a child. And they also don't have to drink. You can just tell them like, hey, you're the only person under 21 at this wedding. I know we've drank before underage, but I wouldn't feel comfortable at this party for you to drink because you're underage around everyone who is of age. But hey, you can still come. You just can't drink because you're not a child. You're still an adult. You just can't drink. That's okay. I think she'd be fine with that. Mel is unconvinced and keeps talking bad about me behind my back to our mutual friends and making snarky comments about me feeling superior. I don't see why she can't relax and let me have my wedding day the way I like. I don't think it's a good enough excuse to not invite a 20-year-old. I don't love the 20-year-old talking behind her back and being snarky. Honestly, I'd just dump the friend at that point. If I was the 20-year-old, it's a wedding. I'm not invited to your wedding makes me think that you don't even actually, like, our friendship isn't at a level that you care enough, maybe? I don't know. Like, I'm feeling like she's just looking for a reason to not invite this 20-year-old and is saying because I have a child-free wedding. A 20-year-old's not a child. And even if she's the only one not of age, just don't have her drink. Is it that, if it is that big of a concern, if the actual concern is I don't want this 20-year-old at my wedding because I know she'll drink and I don't trust her to not drink if I ask her to not drink. That's not what they said though, you know? So, I don't love the talking behind their back. If it's that bad, I would just leave. If I was Mel in this situation, I would think that this friendship doesn't actually hold as much value as I thought to not be included with all of the rest of our social circle of friends. I am the only person not allowed, and it's only because I am 20 and not 21. And it's a child-free wedding. That's a 21 plus wedding, which sounds more lame. I don't know. It just doesn't sound like she really actually values your friendship as much as, I don't know, that's a bad excuse, I feel like. But I wouldn't then respond by being snarky and like talking behind her back. I would just leave the friendship. How old is OP? 22. I will say they're all pretty young. I think of 22 as being like really damn young. So even though like 20 is pretty young and she's being a little snarky and talking behind her back, that just sounds like maybe being a 20-year-old. But then also the person getting married is only 22. That's so not a difference. That's such not a big difference. I feel like that's an excuse. Yeah, I just wouldn't be friends with her anymore. I don't know. That's just such a bad reason to not invite the only person in your entire friend group that's not invited because she's 20? I don't know. I feel like she would have been invited if she actually liked her enough, and like maybe they don't trust each other enough to, like, she doesn't trust Mel enough to not drink, but I don't know, that sounds like a shit friendship then in my opinion. Well, Retta said OP's the asshole. It's weird that you consider someone that is a year younger than you, it's 2 years, but that just is really not the point anyway, a child, yet you think you are old enough to get married? So close to being a child? You're the asshole. You wouldn't have to worry about underage drinking. The only person that concern would be the barman. Yeah, honestly, she doesn't even have to be the one really aware of, like, watching this 20-year-old friend to make sure she doesn't drink. Tell the bartender, hey, that one girl, not of age. Or just like, hey, make sure you're IDing everybody. And then the one under 21 person can't drink, if that was really the concern, which she did not say at all. She didn't say that's the concern. She said the concern is she wants a child-free wedding, so the 20-year-old's not allowed to go. I don't know about that. That's just a bad excuse to not invite. Like, if you really care, like, I don't know, if this was me and I had a 20-year-old friend that's, like, I have this group of friends, one of them happens to be 20, but they're my closest friends in the whole world, and I'm inviting literally everyone else. I can't see why I wouldn't, like, well, I can't see why I wouldn't invite the 20-year-old unless I just really didn't even like her that much. Which, in that case, why are you even friends? I don't know. Sounds like a bad friendship, probably. You're the asshole, and at this point, she should consider herself lucky to have distance from you. The fact that she can say these things in front of others tells me that they agree and won't say it to your face because you're being a bridezilla. Oh, this is true. She's talking about this to all of the other friends, too. And being snarky. I feel like I made this a weird shape. That's better. I missed part of my lip. My daughter was excluded from a cousin's wedding because she was counted as a child at age 18. That just sounds like they didn't want her. It sounds like they also didn't want 18-year-olds at the wedding. Like, they just don't want young people sometimes, but I don't know. That might be a little bit different, but if this is like your absolute closest group of friends and one of them just happens to be 20 and not 21 yet, that's dumb. You're the asshole. I don't really... I feel like there's just not a very good friendship if they're not good enough of a friend that you'd invite them even though they're 20 to your own wedding. It just feels weird. They're not a child. That's definitely not the issue. Yeah, it sounds like people are just like use that as an excuse when they don't want a certain person at their wedding. Maybe. Okay. Am I the asshole for forgetting to lock the door a few times a month? You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't. I want to read that one. You shouldn't do that. Of all the things to forget sometimes, that's one of the things you should just try really hard to never do that, actually. Try, like, the absolute hardest to never do that. A few times a month. That's not... It's like that one story we read, if you were there for it. A partner was mad at their partner for never locking the car, and then their car gets stolen, and so then the partner starts using the partner's car and forgets to lock the car. And the partner was really upset about it because it's like, hey, you already got one car stolen because you forgot to lock it and left the keys inside. There's just things you don't do. There's just some things you don't get to do sometimes by accident. You just have to never do it. Maybe once by accident, but like, oh my God, not a few times a month. That's something you got to be very aware of and conscious of all times. I have forgotten to lock my car sometimes, I'll be honest. But I never leave the keys in it. And also I don't leave things in my car. Hi Reddit. Boy, I was hoping never to have an issue to put here, but I really need some perspective on this one. I come from a family that only sometimes locks their doors. Oh no! This comes from a different time period that also just really should have never, you just always should have been, everyone needs to be, lock your damn doors. My wife, on the other hand, came from a family where the norm was to lock everything, get a camera, be suspicious of everyone coming to the door, just hyper concerned about safety in all ways. As a result, in the beginning of our relationship, I rarely locked our doors. And she always did. I'm sorry, you started out just rarely ever locking it? The story started with it, I forget to lock it a few times. You actually only locked it a few times initially at all. No matter how safe your town is, it just isn't something you can do. Maybe there was a period where you could. It really just isn't worth the risk. We don't live like that anymore. You can't do that. Not in the safest, quietest town, don't do it. Just lock your door. Why take the risk? I don't get it. Ooh, I don't like that. That makes me nervous. You want to know? I'm like so extra wanting, like, I got cameras. I lock, double lock, and deadbolt. I also bought a couple of those things for both, because I have two doors, like a back and a front. I bought these things that are, you kind of wedge it under the doorknob, and then you push it onto the floor, and it kind of like wedges the door so you can't open it in. I got those. We ain't messing around. You can't do that. You be safe out there. Since then, I have done my best to keep up with locking the doors. We have since moved to a great apartment in a very safe neighborhood, and though I am a forgetful person, I've been remembering I lock our door about 8 to 9 times out of 10. Still working on it, though. Okay, you got to keep working on it until it's 100%. That's literally, you just can't stop. 80 to 90% locked is not good enough. You do have to keep working on it until it's 100% of the time. It only takes one time for it to, like, you just never want that risk. Never, ever, 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 ever. Never, ever, 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 ever. My wife is very, extra info. My wife and I live in a newly developed gated community. Okay, it's a little better in a gated community, but I still wouldn't do it, man. I wouldn't do it. Gated community on the 3rd floor of our apartment building in the very back. 0 crime since we have been living here. I take out the dogs every night, so I'm the one locking the door. We have a new puppy that needs to go out every 4 hours. It's the 4 a.m. walks where I am mostly likely to forget to lock the door. 8 out of 10. Versus regularly 9+ out of 10. You got to make it a 10 out of 10. That's literally... My wife is very upset at me and has told me that she's going to buy an expensive camera and another device. You know what they should do instead? I don't know if this will be allowed. I'm going to tell you what I used to have. She's going to buy an expensive camera and another device and leaves notes everywhere for me to lock the door. Am I the asshole for causing the situation? He said he needs to keep working on it. So at least he acknowledges that this is, even though he's 8, 9 times out of 10, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. I did used to live in an apartment complex on like the 3rd, 4th something floor. I don't know if you can, if they're renting, they might not be able to do this, but a very cool thing that my complex had was these doors that are pin code doors. You can also use the key, physical key, but they had a pin code and no matter what, every time the door shut, auto-locked. Just every time. You did not have to lock the door because as soon as it shut, it auto-locked. I would get that if you could, but I don't know in an apartment complex that doesn't already have it if they'll let you install that kind of a thing. Or you install it and then switch it back out at the end of your lease. If you're planning on being there for multiple years, it might be worth it. Maybe you can skip on the expensive camera. Honestly, Ring Cam, big fan, really like them. They're not expensive. And then get an auto-locking door. But then he's never going to learn. Is my problem. Is that he's going to get so used to the door doing it. If they ever move into a new, like a real house, and they don't have an auto-locking door, he'll never learn. He's definitely the asshole. You just can't do that. You just can't. It's like one of those things that you can't do. There's not a lot of them, but there's a short list of things actually, it's a pretty long list if we're talking like crime. But there's just things you can't do. There is no most of the time. You can't do it. You can't leave your car unlocked with the keys inside constantly. You can't do that. All it takes is one time. You can't. You just can't. This is it. You just can't. You're the asshole. Just lock the fucking door. Put notes up as a reminder. She's already putting notes up. I don't know how you can forget. It's also like, it's about a matter of building a habit. And it does take a lot of work. And he said he's still trying. So like, you're not the asshole, but you already acknowledge that you need to keep working on it. So, like, I don't know what you wanted anyone else to tell you other than the fact that, like, you shouldn't be doing it still. So, keep working on it until you never lock the door. Forget to lock the door. I don't understand why they made a post. They already know they need to work on it, and they've already said, like, I'm still working on it. Okay. Yeah, you're still the one who should be doing that work, but, they already know that part. So, yeah, asshole's a bit extreme because he definitely is already acknowledging it, but his girlfriend's still mad for it happening constantly, which I also understand because while it's a habit that he has to break and form a new one of locking the door, and that can be a really difficult thing to do, the issue of it being about a locked door, I get why she's angry about it and she wants it to be something now and not keep forgetting. She would love if you never forgot ever again because obviously the issue being locking the door is a big one. So I don't have music playing. Well, you already know you need to work on it. You got to get to 100% of the time. You got to build that habit. I get her frustration because the habit you're trying to break is like a ridiculously, stupidly dangerous one. So she's like super over it and I get it. I couldn't ever imagine not locking my house. I couldn't. I also didn't grow up somewhere where that was ever acceptable. I grew up in New Jersey. You just can't, you never do that. So I knew very early on, you never don't lock your door. Man. Yeah, I wouldn't even, I'm almost hesitant to suggest getting like the the auto locking door, because then they will never learn. They will never get that habit, and that's important. I'm also like, I gotta make sure all the windows are shut and locked. I gotta make sure all the doors, all the blinds are closed. I'm like, I'm not here to mess around. That's not a risk. That's the dumbest risk you could ever take. It's not locking your house. And I'm not about that. I'm not. You want to live life on the edge. You live it alone. Your partner's scared. They could also get a lock that automatically locks. Yeah, that's somebody suggested that. Somebody said, I feel that women tend to be more concerned about safety. Sometimes guys don't get that. I think that's also maybe partially true, but like it shouldn't be. It should be something everyone's concerned about. Everyone should be thinking about that. And also, we don't live in a time where you can just walk out of the house and not lock it. You can't do that. I would argue you never could do that. It was just never a risk anyone should have been taking. Some people don't close their blinds. That stresses me out. Because at least, especially at nighttime, if all the lights are on in your house, but it's dark outside, if your blinds are open, everyone sees what you're doing. And I don't want anyone seeing anything that I'm up to. It's nothing. It's TV, it's Netflix, and needle felting. Which the next thing I want to needle felt, I want to do, I have a couple, wait. I have a couple planned out. I'm going to make this guy. Whoa, I put my phone in the wrong place. I just pointed it at the sunset lamp. I want to make him. It's going to be really easy. It'll be just like Totoro was. And I want to make him. Hold on. I just remembered something. I can't believe hold on. I can't believe I forgot this. So I was out with Kristen today. And she took me to a Hello Kitty shop that she had just found yesterday when she was walking around with Phil. I forgot that I bought him to put in this room. He has a butthole! Oh my goodness. I bought a t-shirt too. He has a... I want to put him in here. Because this doesn't have a light bulb. I don't know that I'll ever get a light bulb for it. Because I honestly kind of feel like I'm good now. I feel like that's good enough. So I'm going to shove it there. And I wanted something to kind of fill that little spot. Now that looks... I got him in there, but you can't really see him. I sit this way. I lean this way. I'm kind of sad. Yeah, this is good. This is really good, actually. Let me try one more other. That better? Move that. I might get this. Yeah, I like him in that corner better, I think. I love him. I also got this just because I happened to recently break my my tweezers. So I got these little Hello Kitty tweezers just because I was like, oh, I need new tweezers. I broke mine. I was using them for non-tweezer things and they broke. And then I got this shirt, which is, can you tell whom I love the most? And it has this on the back. This is like a big ass sleep shirt in my opinion. And just like I like the color. I'm really into tan right now. That brings me so much joy. That brings me the most joy. Actually, it would look nice if this had like a really dim light bulb in it. I might be able to get like a dimmer on him and make him really low, but he'll make this guy glow if I just have a little bit of a light happening there. This just keeps getting better and better. Look at this! The vibes! Okay. I want to read this one. Okay, so Reddit said not the asshole. I'm expecting to agree. Am I the asshole for switching my skincare and unintentionally making my roommate's face flare up? That sounds like your roommate was using your skincare and you maybe didn't even know about it, I would assume. And when you changed it, they broke out from your new products. That's a them problem. Also, you don't just use people's stuff like that. What the heck? Oh, I kind of want to light this. Next time. I need to get a lighter, but maybe I'll do that. Pom Pom Pern is the best. He's the best. I'm a fan. Oh my god, look at him just sitting there. It's amazing. Oh my goodness. All right, yeah, this sounds like they're not the asshole. Reddit said they're not the asshole. I'm expecting to agree. But let's see. I, female 21, have pretty normal combo skin and I'm not sensitive too much. I don't suffer from acne unless it's hormonal. Couldn't be me. I'm eternally jealous of people that just don't have skin problems. It's nothing you've ever had to worry about. Or people that are like, I'm breaking out, I have such bad skin, and it's like one. It's like 1, 2 pimples. I say this a lot because I think that people that have never struggled, like really struggled with acne, they just don't get it. And they really just can't. It's not your fault, and it's nothing to, nothing negative about you, nothing to say, I'm not saying anything bad about you, but you just can't get it. And it's the worst. When you haven't had it, like, really bad. Like, I never got acne, I don't get acne. Enjoy it! You don't even know! You don't even know! You can't know, you just can't know. Or people that just get like a pimple here and there, and like maybe they have a little bit of a sensitive hormonal kind of acne situation, but it's not that bad, it's just one like surface level, on the surface whitehead. If that was all I had to deal with, oh my god. That would just be an entirely different life I could live. But I have had a big struggle with acne. I had cystic acne. It was deep and it was painful. It was constant. It was all over my face. Mostly my issue was here, cheeks and chin, around here. Never forehead. I never had an issue with forehead. Except for one time I did have, I've had several different types of acne throughout the years too. And I only started getting it at 20, which felt like a crime. I felt illegal to me. You're supposed to do that in your teens. I had clear skin in it as a teen, and then 20s when I started breaking out. Something I did learn, I did have a breakout on my forehead once. It was a bunch of little bumps. It was even more like a texture thing rather than pimples. That's fungal acne. I don't know still what caused it. It was something always is the cause, and it takes forever to figure it out. When you have really sensitive skin that is very prone to acne in all sorts of different ways, the forehead bumpy, more like a texture kind of a acne breakout is a fungal acne. Here is a mostly hormonal acne. I also just have very sensitive skin. I can't use micellar water was my big learn when I was getting into doing skincare and like moving out of Proactive, because Proactive did a lot of damage to my skin. Holy shit. Thank you. Icy Bloom, thank you for the 20 gifted subs. I really appreciate it. Bro, did you still want a nugget? I still got 2 more chicken fries if you want. Thank you really so much for gifting. I appreciate you so much. Yeah, I've struggled with acne. I had the cystic acne on my face that was caused by micellar water, which is such a common thing that people use. I can't use it. My skin is unhappy, doesn't like it. But yeah, people who haven't ever had it like bad, they just don't know what it's like. And it's like your face is stolen from you. And you can really even like the face that you have, but the skin, you just feel out of your, it's so awful. It's the worst feeling. It's the least you like, the confidence killer of it all. Oh man, it's rough. But hey, be glad if you never had it. I like to switch up my skincare, back to the story. I like to switch up my skincare products from time to time. My roommate, female 20, has extremely sensitive skin, and if an ingredient is placed on her skin that she's allergic to or causes a reaction, she gets small clusters of breakouts, and her skin is usually very inflamed red for a long period of time. Due to this, she is very cautious of what is placed on her skin and needs to read each label before using a product. We share one bathroom and have different sinks separating each side. It's clear one side is mine and one side is hers. On my side, I have a cleanser I use daily. It's a little pricey, but I don't mind spending a little more on myself when I like the product. That's another thing. Figuring out skincare that works for you if you have like struggling, like troubled skin with acne. Experimenting with products to find ones that also don't just absolutely ruin your shit is expensive. It's really expensive to get like to find the good skincare that works for you, it can be a really long process. And also to find a product to try out can take weeks to months to even know how it works for you. It's so stupidly frustrating and expensive and dumb. And there's just no easier way to do it. This is the only thing you can do. Volpix Fault, thank you for 5 gifted subs. Thank you so much, appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Thank you guys for gifting. Let me really quick go through. Emily, thank you for subscribing. I didn't read the subs from before the gifted subs. Alex P, Toxic Silver Gun, Lisa, thank you guys. Cohen, thank you for the 250 bits. Lady Celestia, call me Jade. Baby Boys, Meteoride, thank you guys for subscribing. Hello. Flame Mask, Opal, Caterish, Utter Chaos, Rainy Weather Fox, Emerson, the Lime Ghost. Thank you guys for subscribing. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for being here. Yeah, I do find, at least for me, that like a simpler skincare routine has usually been better. Not like too much messing around with serums and stuff, because they always have just had different reactions that I'm too afraid now to try. But when I had my cystic acne breakout, I went to an esthetician. I don't have such trust issues now with estheticians. I went and she looked at my skin, didn't touch her or like get very close at all. She looked at me from a distance, was like, it doesn't look that bad. Meanwhile, I have like the deepest, most painful cystic acne I've never had ever in my life. And her suggestion was I show her the products I'm using, which at the time were all Proactive every day, which is not good. Don't do that. They're too harsh to be using every day. I learned later, but she was like, yeah, these are fine. Didn't look up the ingredients of them at all. She just kind of looked at them and was like, yeah, it's probably fine. And then she was like, try to not moisturize. She's like, just try not using moisturizer for a while. And I was like, I don't think that's a good idea. I think that's a bad idea. In fact, I think what I was really needing, my skin needed moisture more than anything, because Proactive dries the hell out of your skin. It sucks all of the life out of your face. So I'm a little bit trust issue with esthetician. I am going to see a dermatologist soon, because I've solved the like acne part of my problems. Now I kind of want to just solve the like skin texture, overall tone, and like there's a bit of like a dullness to it, I think, because it's taken a beating over the years. But I've mostly solved the actual active acne problem for myself for the most part. I am still sensitive. I still get breakouts. I don't have perfect skin. I also just don't think I ever will, because as much as other people love to tell people with bad skin, just drink water, just use a nice cleanser and moisturizer, just simplify, just use water and drink a lot of water, and they love to tell you how to make your skin better as if you haven't tried everything. What was I going to say? Well, I forgot. They just love to do that. They just love to tell you how to fix your own skin. All right. Where was I? Man, I wish I remembered where I was going with that thought, but it escaped me so fast. It's gone. Yeah, gone. There's another one. Another thought lost. I noticed it was nearly half gone after 2 weeks of me buying it. It usually lasts me a month or more, and realized my roommate had been using it both day and night. I didn't have an issue, but I felt a little upset she didn't ask beforehand, knowing it was expensive. She made a comment about it after Googling it and not offering to replace it once it was out. I brought this up and she brushed it off and said sorry, she didn't think it was a big deal, but I was being dramatic. Okay, no. Didn't think it would be a big deal. That's one thing to say and be like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't think you'd mind. I think that's rude, personally, but then they said that I was being dramatic and that it works for her skin and has never found something so nice, so she continued to use it. Then buy your own! Buy your own. Buy your own. It's expensive. Buy your own. As I said, I like to use different skincare and cycle through... Oh, wait. I offered to send her the link to get her own, and she said, okay, thanks, and never did. As I said, I like to use different skincare and cycle through products. I saw an ad for another brand of skincare and wanted to try it out. I bought the cleanser and toner from this brand. I replaced my old cleanser with this one, and they had very different packaging. This was in a plastic container. My other one was in glass and green. and different ingredients. I don't usually check the ingredients. All I know is my skin doesn't like vitamin C, which imagine buying skincare products and not checking the ingredients because your skin which won't be affected by it. Also, couldn't be me. I can't relate to people that don't have skin problems. I buy it and don't read the ingredients and it'll work. It'll be fine. I have nothing to worry about. I've never had a concern about it. Oh my God, I can't imagine. I don't usually check the ingredient. I only know my skin doesn't like vitamin C. I didn't think much of me changing products like I always do until my roommate woke up the next morning with a severe inflamed rash across her face. This is her fault. You're not the asshole. I just can't even believe. It was such a her issue that did not need to happen. Her face has its stages of acne and she was even on medication for it, but was in remission up until this point. She ran to the bathroom and found out that I had changed my cleanser, and that's what has caused it. How do you not notice when you use the cleanser that it's a different cleanser? Especially as sensitive skin girlies, you don't just use a product and not notice it's not the same product. She ran to the bathroom and found out I had changed cleanser, and that was what caused this reaction. She went crazy on me and started yelling at me, telling me her skin was burning and it was all my fault. She said I knew her skin would react to this and that I'm a petty bitch for sabotaging her. No, dump the roommate. Get her out. Get her out of there. I just already don't like the idea of a roommate using something of yours without asking first. I just already hated that. I hated that. I had a roommate that did that in college. That's just not a good roommate already, so ew. She called me. Oh my God, she went overboard. She called me a selfish whore and that she won't be able to do what she had planned this weekend because of this. Also, to my sensitive skin girlies, please don't. I know it's easier said than done. I'm the first person to understand that. Don't let a breakout stop you from doing the things you were gonna do. I have stayed home because of really bad skin before. And I really wish I hadn't. It's really not worth it at the end to hide away until it's better, because nobody cares as much as you. Nobody's looking at your skin in the way that you are, and if they are, also screw them. Why are you so concerned about my face? Don't let your acne keep you inside all the time and stop you from living. If you can help it, really work on that if you have that problem, because I did have that problem, and it's just so not worth it. The things you miss is not worth it just because you have some pimples, or even a lot. Fucking no one cares like you do. No one's looking at you so under a microscope like that, and is even thinking of it even more than a second ever. So keep going out. Anyway, she thinks I'm in the wrong because I knew she had sensitivity to certain things. I don't know exactly what, and I did this purposefully. The products are clearly different, and she didn't. And this is a regular thing this girl does, is change out her products. This is normal. She didn't take the chance to read the label. I feel like it's not my job to tell her I changed my routine. I feel like it's not your job to supply skincare to your roommate in the first place. I feel like it's not her stuff. It's not her stuff. Should have bought her own, like you said. She should have bought her own. I would have been, honestly, a lot more angry about initially finding out she was using my skincare. I would have kept it in my bedroom. I would have stopped even letting her be near it, and would have had a much bigger issue about that. Because she clearly recognized that she told her roommate, here's the link, you can buy your own, and then said she never did. So she knew she never bought her own and just was still probably using hers. I would have had a much bigger issue with that in the first place. Put my own skincare under lock and key if I'm spending that money on it. I don't know what kind of skincare. Can any of us suss it out? It's a glass green container. It's a cleanser that's a glass green container. What do we think it was? Can we find out the price? Yeah, I would literally put it under lock and key. I did that when my college roommate was using my stuff. My shampoo, which was very expensive. I started hiding it. I put it in a little shower carrier, and I put it in my cupboard, and I hid it somewhere so she didn't know where it was. Because I was I don't like people. Youth to the people. Do we already know? Wait, I want to Google it. Okay. Should I get it? Is it good? I'm still so. Oh, you're right. You guys are sleuths. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. It's not that expensive. That's not the point. It's completely not the point. It doesn't change anything. It's 12 pounds. It's actually incredibly inexpensive. I will say it's kale and green tea, and I think I've tried green tea in a skincare for me, and it didn't work for me. But hey, give it a try. It is actually very not expensive. It's 12 pounds for the smaller bottle, 59 milliliters. Don't ask me what that means. Oh, 2 fluid ounces for the Americans. And then the bigger bottle is 30 pounds for 8 fluid ounces. So like, it's not cheap. Like, I think The Ordinary is a very cheap brand. I think, like there are cheaper brands, but it's also not like, when she said it's, what did she say? She said it was a bit pricey. I was expecting high-end. Tatcha, anyone familiar? Tatcha cleanser is 45 pounds for how many ounces? I don't think it even says on here. 5 fluid ounces. So like in the middle of the big and the small size of that other cleanser, 45 pounds. That's expensive to me. Tatcha is also not sensitive girly approved. No, Tatcha uses smells. What's it called? They put scent. There's a word I'm missing. It's scented, which isn't good for people with sensitive skin. Anything with scent. What is not essential oil, but fragrance. Any skincare with fragrance. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you. Any skincare with fragrance, avoid. There is just no benefit to adding fragrance to it. It is simply a luxury, and if your skin doesn't react to it, it's nice if you want it. It is entirely and utterly unnecessary, and if you do have sensitive skin, it's just the best to avoid anything with fragrance. Some skincare lines carry all of their same products in fragrance and non-fragranced, which is awesome. I love that. But sensitive skin girlies, avoid the fragrance. It doesn't do anything helpful, so rather than seeing if it even affects your skin, don't even bother having fragrance. For what, really? It's just not like worth seeing if you're sensitive to scents. Like fragrance, it's just not good for the skin. Yeah, this is a very clear-cut not the asshole. I would have been a lot more pissed off about the initial using my skincare in the first place. Don't touch my things. Don't touch my stuff. Amy Liz, bring it in for a hug. Thank you. Appreciate you being here. Thanks. Yeah. Sensitive. I like you. That's good. That was good. I like it. Yeah, I don't know, man. As a teen that struggles with skin conditions and rashes, being insecure about your skin is awful and it's kind of embarrassing when people point it out. It's skin issues with your skin is a whole other level of issue. And this is why I can't stress enough that someone who has never had it that way and like really had struggled with it will never know the shame, weirdly, because you didn't do anything wrong, but you feel shame. You feel embarrassed. You feel like you shouldn't be outside and like seen or perceived when you have a bad skin day because you just don't want people to see you that way. People should never point it out. I'm sorry, I'm like... Anyone who does is an asshole who says anything about any kind of skin issue. I promise you, the majority of people out in the world going about their day, the worst case scenario, someone looks at you and will have a half a second thought like, oh, she has bad skin. Maybe. I think most won't even think of you in the nicest, like best way possible. They're not even going to think of you. Or they'll have a half a second thought about you, which is those ones that you have when you pass people on the street. And they're not even real feelings that you have. You just have a thought. Like they just happened to you. No one should ever say it out loud. I would aggressively shame any person that ever said anything verbally to someone with like a skin issue that's like, what's wrong with your face? I would fight them for you. But it's such a... It like really messes with your identity, your self-esteem, your self-confidence. You get like uber depressed from not wanting to even look at your own face in the mirror. It really messes you up. It's fucky, man. And I understand. I get it. I had it. I have it. I still struggle. I just want you to know also it's not coming from someone that is, it's just a little red dot here and here. I'm breaking out so bad. No shame to the people who are like that, but this is a little shame to you because shut up. Also in the nicest way possible. Oh man. And it's always like it comes and goes. And I think I remember the conversation I was getting into. I remembered my thought. We got him back. We got him back. People love to tell you, let's just drink more water and like tell you how to fix your skin. The reality is some people, I think I'm one of them, will not have good skin. Some of us just don't have good skin and won't have good skin. And I think where I'm at with my skin right now is the best I've ever had it since struggling with acne in the first place 9 years ago. It's entirely possible. This is my skin. It might just never be really, really even. It might never really fully have a smooth texture like other people have. It might never be just like good skin. And that's okay. That's okay. Some people just won't have good skin. That's just genetics. Good skin is like 90% genetics. It isn't something you can do anything about. And I'm really glad that people are like kind of being way more open and cool about like letting their skin be. Just let their skin be. Let it be what it is. Don't feel the need to cover it up all the time if you don't want to. And it's so normal to not have good skin. Like so many people just don't have good skin, won't have good skin, and that's okay. That's fine. It's fine. It's okay. I would even argue probably, this isn't, don't actually directly quote me, but I would argue that probably more people have skin issues than have like the perfect good skin that you see all the time. You know what bothers me? We're so not reading. We've read 2 stories and it's been over an hour. You know what really gets to me sometimes? And I think that's what makes it so important to like stop scrolling sometimes on like Instagram, TikTok. Why are they all beautiful? Instagram we've always known is like this, like everyone's using the filters and they're face tuning and it's all edited. But now TikTok, everyone's also using filters, but also even the people who aren't using filters, why are they all pretty and like the tiniest skinny little people? The only people I see. And I'm not wanting to even shame people for just existing in the way that they are, but why do I only see them? TikTok. What are you doing behind the scenes that is making the only people you see on your For You page the same kind of people? Perfect flawless skin, perfect flawless like skinny figure, white. Not all the time, but lots of time blonde. Why are they always all just the prettiest people? It almost makes me like so sad, and then I have to stop scrolling on TikTok because I don't see a variety of people on there. I just don't. And it's not their fault. It's TikTok. I think that has something to do with why their algorithm is built this way, to push certain people in front of your face constantly. And it's a downer. Don't scroll too long on TikTok. Don't scroll too long on Instagram, because that doesn't actually represent reality very well. The majority of people in the world vary all over the place in size, skin type, skin tone, skin color. And TikTok is not the real world. They just don't, it doesn't demonstrate reality very well. Neither does Instagram. Neither does YouTube. All of the social media apps. Just get out in the world for a little while if you're feeling like you're seeing too many pretty people all the time. Go outside. That's not how most people are. 90% of people out in the world just are a variety. The biggest, most diverse variety of all types of things. I'd love to delete TikTok. To be fair, my For You page is usually cats, but I like fashion TikTok. But I can only do it in doses. I can't look at some of them anymore. And it's not their fault. It's a me problem, because seeing certain things might make me feel a certain way about myself, and that's up to me to take control over, not put myself in that position to just be observing people and hating myself more and more. Other people shouldn't stop putting themselves out there, because I have an issue sometimes when I look at people like that too long. You know what I mean? It's me who needs to take myself out of the situation. And it's just a reminder to you, don't scroll too long. There's certain, like I like fashion TikTok, but I can only look at it for so long. And some of them I actually can't even watch anymore because it just makes me feel a certain way about myself and love that person. Sure, they're a great person. I can't do it. I have to take a break from you. I'm sorry. That's for me. Protect me. Thank you, Vikram. I have orange hair. I'm a ginger. I love it so much. I'm a little orange hot Cheeto. We're reading Am I the Assholes? Architax, thank you for so much for subscribing. PG Sweets, thank you for subscribing. Tai Shay, thank you for the 100 bits. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, fashion makes me really insecure because of body type and all that. And it's the fashion ones specifically are always like, and it's not their fault. It's nothing to do with them. It's everything to do with the algorithms that push these things. I'm pretty sure TikTok's evil. Pretty sure. All right, let's find another juicy one. Who wants a nice juicy Am I the Asshole? This one doesn't sound like a fun read. No. 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 This one's about someone's podcast. That could be funny. Fashion is hard, especially because the clothes in stores. This is the problem that we also forget is the reality is that not only are people don't even fit just within small, medium, large, extra large, extra large. Like there's proportions involved too that people are all over the place. Skinnier waist, wider hips, wider waist, narrow hips. Like the variety of the ratio between hip, waist, shoulder, and all that also varies. So like pants are impossible for me. I can never buy jeans that fit the right way because they take the size small and they just keep scaling it up. But the proportions are always going to be all off. And this is why stretchy jeans is a great investment. Get a little bit of stretch. I'm a big fan of the Hollister curvy line. Personally, I feel like they're the best fitting jeans I've ever found for like, I have a little bit of a smaller waist proportionately to a bit wider hip. And that can be really hard to find a jean that fits properly. But I'm a big fan of Hollister's curvy line, to be honest. And that's not because they're paying me. They don't pay me to say those things. My legs are too long, so pants are always short. You can find, I actually found someone on TikTok that was trying on jeans as someone who was like a 6 foot tall woman. And she was trying to find like the best long leg jeans and like extra long. You have to special order them. Man, there's just so much variety, which is such a beautiful thing. Should be embraced a bit more. I've never seen this before. We've seen Reddit, like, it's tagged as already decided. Asshole, not the asshole. This one is decided as everyone sucks. And I would love to read this story where everyone sucks. It's also to do with the locks on the door, so that's kind of a fun staying in that theme almost. Except we read a different one before, but that's okay. Yeah. Alright, am I the asshole for changing the locks on my house after my fiance made a key without my permission? I don't think you should get married. I'm gonna say that now. I think if you're having a problem like this, you shouldn't get married yet. Maybe wait. I think you might wait on that. I think you should probably wait on that. I, 25 female, own a beautiful 4-bedroom house. I bought it when I was 23 after letting my business partner take our shared assets in exchange for $600,000. Okay, all right. House at 23 years old, fine. We owned a few properties together since we had bought our first place at 20 and 21. These are rich people. Bought our first place at 20 and 21 back when we were dating, and even though we didn't work out, we stayed in business together. I closed on my house a few months after my 23rd birthday. I had only been working part-time while I was managing our properties. They're a landlord. So aside from my bed and some little things from my apartment, I stayed in my house for months while it was basically empty. I had always wanted to be a pastry chef. Okay? And a local community college has a program that lets you get your certificate in almost anything for free with just 16 weeks of classes. That's awesome, actually. That's amazing. And if you choose to continue afterward, your credits will roll over. That's where I met my fiance, James, male 27. James was a chef at a high-end restaurant. He had been working since 16. He started as a busser. Like, is that what it's called? I thought it was busting. It's a busser? And worked his way up. While he had a lot of experience, he wanted to have a degree to back it up. We hit it off pretty quickly. He even taught me how to drive. Helped me develop recipes. You couldn't drive. That's fine. And I don't know. Wait! Where do you live? I assumed American. Because if you're American, it's weird to be at 20, 21, now 25, owning multiple properties, but you don't drive. That's just a weird combo, but that's okay. That's fine. Helped me develop recipes and helped me pick out the perfect spot to put my bakery. So they're about to buy. These are just, I hate rich people problems. They own multiple properties. This guy's a high-end chef. She's looking for the perfect bakery spot because she's a landlord, so she doesn't have. She has the money to just do her passion. Love that for you. Great, cool. I'm bitter though. He proposed to me in Jamaica on August 8th, 2022. When we got back home, I moved in with him. I've been perfecting recipes in my house as I've taken the time to make the kitchen to my liking. Oh my. I just am jealous. The truth is I'm really jealous. Let me get these out of here. She made the kitchen just to her liking. I just want a house. I don't even care what the kitchen looks like. I'd love to have my own custom kitchen that I get to pick all the things for, but just give me a house. I'd love that. That'd be amazing. I tend to put my phone on. Oh, I thought this was about to take a different turn because I read this a little bit ahead. It said D&D, and I was like, are these nerds too? And then I got a little excited about it. But no, she says I tend to put my phone on D&D. Do not disturb. I thought they were playing D&D. Just to make sure I have no distractions. There have been a few times where I have missed calls from James and I see that it really bothers him, but it's not like I go at random times. I have a set schedule and I rarely go off of it. About a week ago, I finished baking quite early and ended up taking a nap, and my phone was still on Do Not Disturb. And I woke up to James banging on the door. He told me he had been calling me for hours. I have hiccups. Oh no. I am the one and only Cheeto. Ellafishes, thank you for subscribing. I thought I spotted a nerd, and then I almost was going to let it slide that they're rich, but they're not nerds. They're just rich. I told him I'd forgotten to take my phone off Do Not Disturb. He suggested that if he should have a key. This is worded incorrectly. He suggested that he should have a key he could use for emergencies or in case something like this happened again. Oh, this is weird. I said no because this is my safe space and I'm still adjusting to living with someone. Oh, fuck you. All right. They're living between two different houses because she has her own house, but she also lives in a house with him, but she's using her house as kitchen because she has it to her liking to cook in. Now I understand the issue. So they have a house together. They live together, but she uses her own personal house because she has a second one that's hers with her own kitchen that's her liking to cook in, and puts her phone on Do Not Disturb. And he was trying to come over. She has two houses. I'm pretty sure she has more because she talked about multiple properties, which give some to the rest of us. So he doesn't have a key for her house, but they have a house that they live in together, and she doesn't want him to have a key to her house because it's her safe space at that house. You shouldn't get married if you're not. That feels weird to me. It's okay to have your space. Like, I would hope in this house that you share, you should have a space that's yours even in the shared house, right? Like a room that's yours, a part of the house where you do work and can be left alone, but don't see why you need an entire other house. And also he's not allowed to have a key. That feels weird. Like, it feels like you shouldn't be getting married if you're not ready to give him a key to your own house while you're already also living together anyway. That's weird. That's really weird. I can't wait to read the comments on this one. I get being adjusting to living with someone and you just happen to have a spare house to be used at your disposal, but I don't know. This sounds like James is having he said that he had been calling her for hours and then was banging on the door. Sounds like you should do something to help alleviate this problem because James isn't the one causing the problem. Like, there's nothing that James can do to fix it, but there is some things that you could do to fix it. Either give him a key, take your phone off, do not disturb instead, and allow it to buzz. But also, I just am not super attached to your problems because you're rich. That's so bad. The other day when I was finishing baking, I noticed it was raining and I decided to call James because I don't feel comfortable driving in the rain. He didn't call me when he got there. He knocked on the door, and when I opened it, he complained about getting wet while waiting for me and said he wouldn't have to wait if he had a key. This is so weird. You won't let him have a key. You already are living together. You already share a house. What? He's not going to just show up unannounced. Just, honestly, this is the problem. If you're about to marry him, you should be able to have a very, very simple conversation of saying, hey, so this house is my safe space right now. It's kind of an adjustment for me living with you, and I kind of like having this separate space that's my space. But I see that we have this issue where you keep needing to get in touch with me, and I have my phone on Do Not Disturb because I need to, like, disconnect myself while I'm baking. But then you end up getting stuck sometimes, and let me give you a key, but promise me that you won't just show up unannounced. Please let me know when you're on your way over, or, just don't use it to show up whenever you want. That should be super easy to tell to a partner you're about to marry for the rest of your life. And then he should listen, and then that should not be a problem in a very healthy relationship that you're about to marry that man. Right? You should let him have a key. Like, where's the compromise? Where's the conversation about a compromise in this situation? Rather than you just keeping a whole entire second house to yourself and locking him out of it because you're adjusting. It's so weird. I pointed out that if he could have called me and I would have just come to the car, and he said that wasn't the point, and me not giving him a key was a slap in the face. He's offended that you don't trust him is what it sounds like, I feel like. Yesterday I noticed he had one of those minute keys in his glove compartment while looking for my lip gloss I left in his car, and I immediately knew what he did. What's a minute key? I called my brother to help me change the locks. That's so extreme. You couldn't at least talk first and be like, hey, oh my God, this isn't a healthy relationship. Please don't get married. Last night at dinner, I let him know I found the key, and I told him it wouldn't be any use as I had changed the locks already. We argued and haven't spoken since last night. Don't get married. They went an entire night not speaking to each other. Don't get married. Like, you don't have to break up, but don't get married, please. You have to work on that first. This is so weird. This is really weird. This is a weird situation. I can be sympathetic to I'm still adjusting, and I kind of like having my own space, and it's convenient. I have an entire house with a kitchen I like right now, so I'm still kind of adjusting and transitioning into fully moving into this house that I share, because I'm not used to it. Very privileged to have a whole second house. We're not oblivious to that, but there's no compromise. Also, no conversation. What happened? Where's the communication here in this relationship? First should have been communicated. He is telling you he feels like it's a slap in the face is what he said. It sounds like he feels like you do not trust him by not giving him a key to your house, so that all of these other issues and miscommunications and getting locked out of the house because you fell asleep would be alleviated if you would give him a key. But you can have a conversation of setting boundaries, what healthy relationships are capable of doing, where you say, here, I'll give you a key, but please don't show up whenever you want. Please speak to me first before you come over. Or just for emergencies, it's really important that I have this entire whole other house. And then you should be able to talk about that. Or when he made a key on his own, because you didn't do that, right? You skipped that step. That's not great, but now you're here. He made his own key behind your back. A little bit sus. I don't like that. He didn't communicate that either. But now instead of talking to him about it, you changed the locks immediately. How fast can you? I didn't know you could just do that in a day. I didn't know you just have someone turn up and you have new locks suddenly, right away. You shouldn't have done that. Why are you talking to each other about this? Don't get married. You don't have to break up. Go to maybe a little couples therapy, because you can still salvage the relationship, but please don't get married until that's fixed first. That communication issue that you're having, fix it and then get married. Don't stop getting married and expecting to fix the problems later. Just do it first. Why are you rushing to get married? Just fix them first. Jesus Christ. Everyone sucks here. I love that I forgot that's what we're reading. Reddit decided that everybody, oh yeah, that's true. I was like, she's definitely an asshole. But I forgot he also is a little bit, because it's just, you guys are not in a good place communication-wise to be getting married. It's easier to break up than get a divorce. And there's no reason to get married before you work on these problems. And if you find out, ooh, actually, you know what? Maybe we can't work on this. Then you break up and you don't have to get a divorce because you worked on it first instead of getting married and then dealing with your issues. I think people always go into, not always, but like I feel like there are people that go into, they have their relationship that they're like, they're super secure in and they're about to get married, and they assume that any of the, like the lingering problems in their relationship that they maybe haven't ironed out in all the time they've been dating still, however much time that is, they assume they can do after. But it's like, there's no reason why you can't do it first, right? Like you can just keep dating and do it first and then get married later. Why the rush? Why skipping to that step and then assuming you can work on that stuff later, even though you don't have it all ironed out now? Why can't you do it first? I don't understand that. You just assume you can go in and fix it later. Don't do that. Know that you can fix it first. Wait, somebody said something about my skin. How do you keep your skin moisturized and clear? Makeup. It is not moisturized and clear. It's makeup. Yeah, you should never assume you can fix problems that you're aware of later. Why not now? Why not just wait for the marriage step until after? It doesn't make sense. Everyone sucks here. You for not trusting your fiance enough to give him a key, and him for breaking your trust and making one without permission. But then you also just didn't talk about it, and then you went and changed the locks, and that's so extreme. You better get a rock solid prenup protecting that house as a premarital asset if you go through with the marriage, because it's going to go from your house to both of yours otherwise. Is she planning on keeping this house? Like, is she going to have... That's a pro. You know how sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with doing this either, but some couples have like their own room. Even sometimes they have their own bedroom. I'm not going to be judgy on that. They have their own house. They have their own house. That sounds like a problem. That sounds problematic if you have to have an entire separate house. If she's a landlord, she'll probably keep it and rent it out. Yeah, but it sounds like right now she's taking advantage of the fact that she has two houses she can be between. And it's like how sometimes couples like need a separate bedroom or like a separate bed. And I'm not judging, but when you get to a point where you have to have a separate house, what are you getting married for? Why are you getting married? You probably shouldn't get married. Shouldn't get married. Don't get married until that's like, I mean, Jesus. And what do I know? I shouldn't be the one having to tell people this. Everyone sucks here. Your fiance should respect your boundaries. However, if you don't trust him enough to let him into your safe space, maybe you need to consider not getting married to him or being engaged yet. That's all I'm saying. I'm not even saying, and sometimes I do say, just break up. I'm just saying, don't get married yet. If you're going to spend your lives together, you should probably feel comfortable living with him. It sounds like you're pretty young and haven't known him long. If you're not there yet, you need to have a conversation with him and be upfront about how you're feeling. This is like the biggest thing I think that I've found in couple issues with Am I the Assholes? Is so many of them have like this missing gap of communication that I feel like a lot of times they're too afraid even to bring up. If you're in a position of being afraid of conversations with your partner in any capacity, that's a problem. It doesn't mean you have to break up, but it's a problem and you should work on it, because you definitely can't stay together forever until you do. But I do feel like I see a lot of times there's big communication gaps in these relationships where people, they're either already married, which is insane to me, they're engaged, or they've just been dating for a long time, and they go to Reddit to like work out this problem they have with their partner. And my biggest thing is like, have you talked to them? And so many people are too afraid to talk about a problem with their partner. Big issue if you just already can't start a conversation about something that maybe will be uncomfortable. Maybe is a scary conversation to have. Maybe you're afraid of what they're going to say. If you can't do it though, then you can't be with that. Like you have to be able to do that to be able to be with someone. It's very telling how many people on here come to complain instead of talking to the people involved. And it's so common. And it's such an easy fix. And honestly, I'm gonna be big encourager of like, just take the leap. You have a conversation you're really afraid to start with a partner because you really don't know where it's gonna go. You gotta take the leap, because if you find out this is not a person you can communicate with, or they do respond the way you were afraid, get out, get out of there, go find someone else, go start fresh in a new relationship. Because the sooner you find that out, that you can't have these certain conversations, or they're not capable of it, or they're not willing to work on it, maybe couples therapy, get out, dump them, find a different one, move on. Maybe that's harsh. I always encourage couples therapy first. I will say that. I have always said couples therapy first. Unless they're like really big dicks. Unless they're like really huge assholes. Then I just say dump the whole thing. Toss the whole thing in the trash. But, all right, let me restart this playlist one more time. I'm going to go pee really quick because I drank 2 liters of water in this hour and a half amount of time. Don't go anywhere. I'm coming back. We'll read a few more. I actually might not end up doing Minecraft today because I've been really vibing with just this little space here, and I don't want to go into my little camera mode. So, I will be right back. Get some water, get some snacks, stay hydrated, go have a pee break if you need it, and I'll be right back. Okay. Let's read a few more. One with Sketch, thank you for subscribing. Let's read a few more. Am I the assholes? Maybe find a few more assholes. Maybe find some not assholes, though I haven't found too many of those. Mostly assholes. mostly they're assholes on here usually. Am I the asshole for letting my kids bully my fiance's son? And Retta said no. That could be funny. Am I the asshole for... This one, Retta said, is the asshole. Am I the asshole for not wanting to take my daughter's poopy diaper home with me from her grandparents' house? Which one sounds better? Poopy diaper or bullying fiance's son? Letting their son bully their fiance's son. J-Burb, thank you for subscribing. Thank you. Livy, thank you for subscribing. Bullying. Okay, let's read bullying first. My fiance and her son recently moved in with me. My kids are here every other week, and I told them their routine wouldn't change. The room I gave to my son, my soon-to-be stepson, used to be the guest room, and nothing about my kids' room has changed at all. My kids had been adjusting pretty well to new people, and I was happy with how things have been going. Well, my fiance said my kids have been bullying her son by talking about him in Urdu. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but obviously it's a different language. I asked how she could possibly know if they are talking about him, and she said that they talk in front of him in a language he can't understand, so they must be talking about him. Oh, bully is what he said in the title. I think that's a stretch. She said, regardless, it hurts his feelings and it needs to be stopped. I said, no, I can't tell them what language to speak. She said to tell them not to speak it when he's around, but he lives here now, so he's always around. It isn't no, it's not a reasonable request. It isn't a reasonable request and will just create animosity between the children. He needs to just get used to occasionally hearing a language he doesn't know. I got used to it. He could also, I don't know how old these kids are. Sounds like young. He could learn it. That's not like a horrible idea, I don't think. Is that like a bad idea? Like, should they be allowed to communicate in a language that he can't understand? Or is it kind of a good idea to encourage him to learn because they're family now? They're step siblings. They live in the same home. It could be a really great thing to bond over and like make him feel a lot better about the situation. Know that they're not just speaking. No one's doing that. It's also, if they are, it's not your business. So people act like we don't talk about people. Like, if you're an English speaker only, you act like you don't go and talk about people sometimes. If people are doing it in another language, it isn't your business to hear it. Just let them talk. But I would love, I think it sounds like a good idea personally, but I'm not to encourage him to learn it. And like, I'm sure he will eventually if they continue to live together. You're going to be married. Maybe we'll spend your lives together. He probably would eventually learn what some things mean. I would expect it, especially if he's young. It'll be easier to learn too. I think you should learn it, right? I don't want to take away this language that they have to speak in if they do want to have a way to talk without him knowing what they're saying necessarily. But I'm also certain that they could just go off and have time to themselves as like biological siblings and maybe don't want to hang out with the step sibling sometimes. And they're both girls, I think. Oh, he didn't actually even say. I think they're girls. She said that was my choice, but not... Oh, he needs to get used to occasionally hearing a language he doesn't know. I got used to it. She said that was my choice, but not really. You can't expect everyone to always speak your language. Yeah, I would just encourage him to learn. Not the asshole. Exposure to different cultures and languages is an immaterial wealth that you can transmit to your children. However, as a parent, you ought to at least investigate and not just summarily dismiss your fiance's concerns. Just reading your description, she may feel that you are coming short, not hearing her and washing your hands with her concerns. That's fair. Honestly, he should just sit down with his kids, like, heart to heart. Are your kids, are you in a position where your kids are just genuinely honest with you? They probably would tell you if they feel a certain way, and have a conversation with them about it. Long term, that might create friction, and she may lose trust in your ability to be fair about the children. In your shoes, I would backpedal, tell her that you thought about it, and that although, and I support you on that, you will not ask them to not speak their language, you will talk to your kid and figure out what's... Kids, he has 2, at least. And figure out what's going on. That's fair. I think that's very fair. It might also be a good idea in general for you to check in on your kid. Oh, wait. No, he meant the wife's kid, to make sure that everything's okay on their end. Adjusting okay, any issue with the other kids. I'm not sure what the age gap is between the kids, but if they're smart and realize that none of the adults speak Urdu, as a kid, I'd see the other can teach me so we can have a secret language at home. I would imagine the kids... Wait. Oh, so his kids speak... Or am I saying it correctly? His kids speak this language. He doesn't, which would probably mean that their mother spoke it and he didn't learn it. So that is kind of fun. All the kids, if they teach that other boy to learn it, then only the kids would know how to speak it, and they could have a little secret, like, way of communicating with each other, and that would make him feel super included. It's definitely something he should make an effort if you want all these kids to really bond with each other. Encourage them to teach him the language, and then even make it more enticing by saying, if you learn it, then none of the adults will know what you're saying, and then you could speak about us in your language that we don't know. If all the kids speak English... Oh, somebody else said if all the kids speak English, the kids should have enough common courtesy to speak English in front of him. I speak multiple languages and have always been taught that, and my friends all do too. It's not a secret that people switch languages to talk shit. Oh, am I wrong that I just, like, don't care? Is that wrong of me to be like, maybe they are, but it's not my business. I just don't care. Maybe... But no, I think definitely check in with the kids who are speaking this other language. See if they are talking shit, and like have a little moment with your children to check in with them, see how they feel. Encourage them not to use it to alienate him, but use this other language as a way to bond with him and try and teach it to him instead, as a moment, as like a way of connecting and bonding with these step kids that now live together. I'm sure that's like a weird adjustment for them. And to be encouraged to be on the same side like that would be a lot better than encourage them to alienate each other more by withholding a language from them because they don't think it's fair now. Teach him. Yeah, I guess I'm of the... Maybe it's also because I'm, like, almost 30, but I'm of the opinion if someone's talking shit about me... Like, someone that I don't know is in front of me talking another language and they're talking shit. I don't care. I just don't. I could be talking it in English. Well, if they said it in English, maybe I wouldn't say anything. I would just still not care, I guess. I think I just care not enough. I think I just don't care as much anymore. It isn't nice. I don't think it's a nice thing to do. I might not care, but I still don't think that it's a nice thing to do. I wouldn't do it. I am not one to talk shit about people at all, because I just don't think that's a very kind thing to do or productive. It doesn't benefit me in any way to do it. I just don't care. I just don't care. And that does come with age. Yeah, I think he does need to talk to his kids, though, and make sure, because maybe just assuming that they're not using this language to talk about him isn't the move. Communicate with them, have a moment with them, and then encourage them to teach him so that they can have, like, they can have a little friendship, a little step siblingship. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, if I don't think nice things of people, I just don't speak about them. Hot take. If I don't like someone for some reason, I don't talk about them. I just don't speak about them at all, instead of talking shit. That's a good rule of thumb. Oh, he's pooped. I got people I could say mean things about. But I don't. Oh, I mean, if it's to a therapist, yeah, tell them everything. Literally never withhold anything from your therapist. But yeah. If you dislike someone, just put them out of your mind, right? Yeah, like why spend any time thinking of a person that you don't like for whatever reason? Maybe it's a valid reason even. I'm not going to spend my time thinking about him at all in that case then. Okay, I want to read Am I the Asshole for Not Wanting to Take My Daughter's Poopy Diaper Home with Me? And then I think I'm going to wrap up. And then tomorrow, I'm going to do Minecraft. I think I'm going to play hardcore, actually. There's a big hardcore world that a lot of people are playing on. I think I'm going to start tomorrow. I might do earlier. I'm thinking I'm actually going to try and get on early, like even 4 p.m., maybe 5 is more realistic, possibly. But Yeah, it's Jimmy's Hardcore World. I'm going to start playing on it tomorrow. And then maybe we even split some time with Origins, but we will do Minecraft tomorrow. I just was so excited about this little space that I worked on so much yesterday and the day before. I didn't want to make it tiny, and I also I had a headache when I started the stream, actually. I hadn't eaten, but then eating and drinking this whole 2-liter bottle of water immediately made me feel a whole lot better. But I didn't know if I would feel up for playing a game and rather just hang out. I didn't even know how long I'd hang out because I didn't know how long I would feel like shit. But I don't anymore, which is great. Drink water, eat food. If you're not feeling good, start with those. If you haven't done them in a while, start there and then see if it makes you feel better. It's probably just one of those. When I, 39 female, picked up my 15-month-old from my parents' house yesterday after work, my mom, 65 female, watches her about 20 hours a week for free. Oh, that was a parentheses. My 65 female mom, no, my mom, 65 female, watches her about 20 hours a week for free. Oh, wait, this is weird. Her poopy diaper was wrapped up in a bag waiting for me with the car seat. I put the car seat in the car, brought the diaper into the house, and asked if they wanted me to take it to the outside trash can for them. Honestly thought maybe they got distracted and it accidentally ended up in the car seat. They said, no, take it with me and throw it away in my trash can because their bins have just been emptied that day. I thought that was ridiculous and said, no, but I'll throw it away in your bins outside, and that's what I did. My mom was angry and short with me afterwards. Should I have taken the poopy diaper home with me? Am I the asshole? This is so short. Reddit said they're the asshole. Is it that big of a deal? I don't really think... It's a trash bin. It's outside. I get that the trash bins have just been collected, so it'll sit there for... I don't know how often trash gets collected. What, like once a week or twice? So it'll sit there for maybe a week? It's outside? I don't know. Is that not okay? Genuinely, I don't know. Because it's a garbage bin outdoors. Like, they're gonna put trash in it tomorrow. They're gonna immediately start filling it with trash. If it was inside the house, I'd be like, yeah, we just cleaned out and all the trash people came and we don't want your poopy diaper inside the house, but it's an outdoor trash bin? There is no further information. Reddit said they're the asshole for not listening to the mom who didn't want it in her trash bin, but this is like, I remember reading a story of somebody that was mad at their neighbors for putting their dog poop bags in their trash cans outside. Again, outdoor trash bins that get brought to the street. I just don't, I can't stress enough how much I wouldn't care. I just don't think I'd care enough. I guess she could be considered an asshole because the mother stated very clearly she did care, and the daughter did it anyway because she probably thought it seemed a little bit ridiculous to just not let it be in the trash can that it lives outside and no one would ever smell. But if it's in a diaper poopy bag, like dog bags, it would be fine. And it is in a bag. She even said it's in a bag. Wrapped up in a bag. I just really don't think it's that big of a deal. Although I guess it's still a problem if your mother, like, for whatever, even if you find them to be unreasonable, her mom stressed that she did not want them in her trash can and she did it anyway. I guess that's a little, I don't get why you care though. I don't know. Let's see what Reddit said. Did I never read the comments from the rich people one? Oh, that's a bummer. I forgot. You're the asshole. Your parents are doing you a gigantic favor by, this is true, by babysitting your child for free for what basically is the duration of a part-time job. Least you can do is get rid of a shitty diaper. Don't be surprised if the free babysitting service becomes available. I think that if it was me, here's my opinion. If I was the grandmother, I wouldn't care. I just wouldn't. If I was the daughter right now, and my mother just told me, and would normally take the dirty diapers, it sounds like. On a normal occasion, it sounds like she would put it in her trash can, but they just had their trash collected. They're nice and empty. For whatever, even if I don't agree and think it's unreasonable, she wants them. She doesn't want it in her trash can. I wouldn't have thrown it in anyway. I would have felt like that was rude. I just would have taken it home then if she really felt that way about it. But if I was the grandmother, I would have just let it be in my trash can because I don't care enough either way. But I wouldn't, if she really stressed to me, like, please don't put it in my trash can. I just had the trash taken out and it's empty now. I wouldn't do it. If I was told not to do it, I wouldn't do it. I'd just bring it home and throw it away. It's not worth it. It's not worth the problem. Okay. I would argue that dirty diaper disposal is part of babysitting. Somebody said, I have to disagree and say, not the asshole. She threw it away in an outside bin. Part of childcare is throwing away diapers. It sounds like also, in my opinion, this is something they do regularly. She just didn't this time because the trash can was empty. It's fine if they don't want to have to be, it's fine if they didn't want to have it be the only thing in the bins they had already emptied, but frankly, it's ridiculous to set aside a dirty diaper and wait for the parents to come home and ask them to cart it from a perfectly usable garbage bin to one in their own home. It's a dirty diaper, just throw it away. That's how I feel. But if I was really stressed by my own mother, and she said her mother got angry about it, I'd just bring it home. But if I was the grandmother, I wouldn't care that much about it. I don't think it's that big of a deal. But I also wouldn't push it. I would just bring it home. It's a very short one because they only wrote 4 lines. How is it reasonable for someone to have to take a bag of poop in their car to their home when there's an outside bin? Honestly, I bet if she went over to a neighbor's house and threw it away, no one would care. It's a trash can. That's where trash goes. No one cares about keeping it empty as long as possible or not having a single diaper in an empty can. It's outdoors. You don't think about it. It's a dirty diaper. That should have been thrown away once it was taken off the child. Why should OP take it home with him? If I visit the parents' home and change my... Oh, remember the story of the girl who changed her tampon at her boyfriend's friend's house? And the boyfriend's friend was like, hey, can you ask your girlfriend not to do that in my house? Oh, no, it was a pad because she threw it away in the trash can. Where do you want it to go? That's where it's supposed to go. That's trash. I'll never forget. And the boyfriend was like, hey, can you not throw your pad away in my friend's house? What do you want me to do with it? Put it in my pocket? It's supposed to go in the trash. That's what trash cans are for. I assume she didn't want the diaper around because it smells, but it's outside. The bin is outside. And also someone put in the comments as an example, which is why I brought up the other story. If I visit my parents' home and change my tampon pad, am I going to need to put it in a plastic bag and take it home with me? No. But then we read an Am I the Asshole from a girl that left a pad wrapped up in the trash can. She wrapped it up and put it in the trash can, and the boyfriend's friend got upset about it. What do you want? I'm not going to put it in my purse. It's trash. I put it where it belongs. It's wrapped up. It's sealed in a bag. Oh, the pad changing one, you can't just put off changing those, right? No. No. When you need to change it, you need to change it. And it's also very inconsistent when you might need to. And so she might not have expected to need to at his house, and then suddenly she uses the bathroom and she's like, oh, I can't carry on with this boy. I got to put a new one in. That is such I would never be bothered by someone entering my home and leaving wrapped up in toilet paper, she said, in my trash can. Because also when I dump my bathroom trash can, I dump it out. I don't touch it individually. I will never come in contact with the wrapped up pad that's in there. I'm kind of glad we brought this one back up because I also feel like there's probably a good number of people that would find themselves uncomfortable with the idea of this situation. You got to get over it if this is true. If you're uncomfortable with the idea of a woman coming in your home, using your bathroom and potentially having to change pads and wrapping up the old one nice and neat and tight and clean in toilet paper and putting it in your trash can, you should get over it. The moral of that story, you gotta get over it. He didn't want your gross period in my clean trash bin. Emphasis on trash. Yeah, I guess, I don't know. This one's tough because if I was the grandmother, I would never care in the first place about the diaper in my trash can. But if I was the daughter and my mom got mad at me for it, I wouldn't agree that it's reasonable, but I would just still bring it home because I just wouldn't want to fight about it. It's a bit silly, though, I will say. It is just the pad story, which is completely unreasonable to expect a woman to bring her dirty pad in her purse when you have a trash can in your bathroom for exactly this purpose. This is what it's literally there for. This is exactly its use. I do, though, as a woman, someone with a period, whenever I am at somebody else's house, I do hate to do it. I hate doing it, but you have to. Or if you have a tampon, it might have been a tampon even. You have to put. Are we getting into it? If you have to put the applicator somewhere. You have to throw it away. You don't put it in your pocket and take it home with you. You don't put it in your purse to take home with you. Wrap it up, put it in the trash. I want to know how he even knew it was in there. There's only two ways that he would know, and it's either maybe she didn't wrap it up very well, and maybe that is something you could do better in a guest's house, is at least wrap it up real thick. Use up all their toilet paper. It's not even yours, but wrap it up completely. Or he literally went into the trash to look for it, or like how'd you get in there and find it? Smell? No. What is he picking up his trash can to sniff it aggressively? It doesn't smell like that. If you wrap it up and put it in the trash can, your bathroom when you enter it isn't going to suddenly smell like period. It isn't like that. It doesn't work like that. He'd have to like really aggressively get his nose up specifically against which one the pad was to know what was in there, maybe. And also, then take the trash out sooner. Like, I can't stress enough the get over it part of this story of people are going to leave potentially pads wrapped up and applicators from tampons wrapped up in your trash can, because that's where trash in the bathroom goes. It's not a big deal. Get over it. Take it out sooner. It really won't smell though, like, because it's not emanating fumes like that. It's not like that. We don't have applicators here. Oh, you know what? When you now this is a whole different kind of conversation. In Australia, we don't have applicators because you know what? They're very wasteful. And if you also buy organic tampons, those ones a lot of times also don't come with applicators. And nobody likes the cardboard ones. The kind that they sell you in high school bathrooms. Ugh. But I was expecting someone in the comments to say this. How do you do it without an applicator? Okay, I think that's where we wrap up. It is better for the environment if you're willing to, if you're not shy about it. They're actually much better, especially if you can get organic and know all of what's in your tampons, because they don't tell you. There's so many things in tampons that shouldn't be in there. Can't stress that enough either. There's so many things in the things that they will sell us to put in and around sensitive parts of our body that genuinely just shouldn't be there. Not even necessarily safe for the body. So organic is a nice way to go. And sometimes you will get the kind that don't have applicators. Did anyone else see the post recently about the Thinx period panties? That they have a chemical in them that is actively like horrible for your body? Man, it's risky out here. It's risky out here when you need to use these kinds of products for your period, if you're someone who needs them. Uh-oh, no one heard about it. Okay, well, let me do a Google for you, because if you're someone who's using them, I would maybe very seriously consider not anymore, because they were, let me Google. I just read about it yesterday, so I don't want to be like wrong. Oh, yep, there it came up right away. Thinx period underwear lawsuit because it's toxic. If you didn't know about it, I can't stress enough how glad I am to share it with you so that you do know about it. I'm trying to find the name of the chemical. PFAS. PFAS, what is that? That's what's in them. And it's like really, really, really bad for you. Very bad, especially bad for women specifically. Which is what we're there for, which is so weird that that would happen. Who let that slide? I don't know what those are, though. PFAS. I can't read that. Perfluoroalkyl and polyfluoroalkyl substances. They're chemicals. They're toxic anyway. So I think it was Thinks, and also I think there's a second period panty called Nix, which why do they all end with an X? That's weird. Yeah, that's also, they also have them, PFAS. Be careful out there. Do a little research on that. I only just had read about the lawsuit that happened, that it is confirmed they have them in them, the Thinks period at least, and the Nix ones. It's very serious. Why is this? How does this scale? It's very upsetting because these specific items are meant for people with periods, which a lot of are women, and the issues with PFAS specifically are very bad for women because of the effects on the body for like, what am I trying to say? The issues they cause is like uterus issues, right? Like, yeah, that's about it. That's as far as that was what I was looking for. It's like it causes big issues with the uterus. So, and this is a product very heavily used by and sold for people with uteruses. And how do you just do that? It's very upsetting because there's that. There's stuff in tampons we don't know about. There's stuff in pads. There's stuff in makeup that we put on our face. There's just not enough long-term research to know how actually damaging it is. They don't do research on stuff that affects us. People with periods, a lot of which are women. I'd assume all are women. You'd be wrong, which is exactly why I said it the way I said it. I'm not wrong. You are. You shouldn't assume it. Even Keemstar's on that board. Like, where did that come from? But yeah. You'd be wrong. You shouldn't assume. Open your mind. All right. That's why I was like, I was trying to find the right wording, because it also, the effect from this chemical is a big effect for people with uteruses specifically, but also it's a thing sold to people who get, bro. But yeah, hey, I wouldn't assume that at all. All right, I'm gonna get the hugs. Real quick. Everyone with a period does have a uterus. Those are the people I'm talking to. Keep yourself safe out there. No one's looking out for us. No one's ever looking out for us. They're selling us stuff to put in places that are sensitive. And they're not looking out for us because they don't care. James, bring it in for a hug. KJS Extreme, Amy Liz, Haunt of Harper, thank you guys so much for being here and for using your channel points to get a little virtual hug from me. I appreciate it. Little old me. And also, I don't know why it's in there. Like, there's definitely a way of making these kinds of, I think, panties without using PFAS. They said it's also in a lot of... I'm going to start doing research on this because I was reading about how there's some people... it's in leggings and swimsuits, so it makes me think something to do with the elastic of it is where it's happening. But there's got to be a way to do it without, right? But also, the goal is to make money off the people who would buy it and then not actually care about them. Because we live in a society. So, let's all do, I think it's the water resistance. Maybe that's it. Maybe that makes sense because they said swimsuit and leggings and like workout clothes. Go do the work and do the research because they're not going to do it for you. And also, there's just like not research in some of this stuff. Endometriosis, there's not enough research or solutions for it because there's not an incentive to do it because it would just simply help people. There's no profit in that. I'm going to have you guys raid Scott. He's almost never live when I'm live. So I'm happy to go and raid him. I'm going to see if he's going to be on the hardcore tomorrow because maybe we could play together. But go be so nice and cool and chill and vibe in Scott's chat. Bring your best vibes. And thank you for bringing your vibes here today. Look at these vibes. I feel like we got some good vibes today. It felt like a vibey stream. I had a lot of fun. It's the waterproof spandex from specific factories. Yeah, like we know that then. So how about we stop using them maybe instead of kill people? I don't know. What? Yeah, do a little bit more research. Cool. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for everyone who subbed. Kale Asm, thank you for subscribing. Have a good day, probably for a lot of you, but also evening for some of you maybe in my neck of the woods now. What time is it right now? 8 p.m. I was about to say I'm gonna go get dinner, but I just ate Burger King. I'm gonna go have a snack, because I'm still hungry. Alright, goodbye everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Definitely. I've said that before, but I mean it this time. Definitely I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye everyone! Bye. Oh, I missed the button.